Chag Sameach, Rabbi Yid.
Sameach.
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Baruch Hashem.
I see you have the Manischewitz matzah right there.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
No, it's a good prop. You have to leave it. It was a perfect prop. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. Manischewitz matzah. That is the extent of my Yiddishkeit.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Is it? Is it?
I met someone this weekend who's a Jewish guy. He's like in his 80s.
Oh, I was hoping you met someone.
No. And he said to me, what are those circle things called again? And I'm like, matzah. And I was like, he's like, yeah, matzah.
That's what those circle things are called. Yeah.
I was honestly a little surprised that he didn't know the term. Because like I feel like for Pesach, people know like Pesach and matzah. Like that's like the basic, I was a little surprised.
I mean,
he is 84, so he may have just forgot. He may have just had a lapse of memory.
It's not just that. I mean, knowing some Hebrew or any Hebrew has become a lot more common in like since the establishment of the state, Rahman al-Islam. So here I was having a discussion with this 80-year-old woman at a Reform synagogue I sometimes go to, Rahman al-Islam, and we're having a discussion, and I tried to explain to her about classic Reform.
Yeah.
So classic Reform, there are these people who in the Reform movement who feel that the Reform movement is kind of betraying its original values, and they want to go back to classical Reform. And she said, like, what do you mean? And I said, well, Reform was for a very long time non-Zionist, right? They didn't believe in having Hebrew in the liturgy at all. And, it was all about, we speak the language of the country we're in, right? And we don't do things like keeping kosher, etc., which set us apart, and like a lot of Reform synagogues, including the one I was going to, like there's a lot of Hebrew in the liturgy. They're very explicitly Zionist, right. They're at least kosher style or kosher friendly, and it's like, well, that goes against classical Reform values.
Didn't know that. That's interesting.
So she says to me, so how are they Jewish? Now she's been going to a Reform synagogue her entire life. She's in her 80s, right? But yeah, classic Reform, there were Jewish synagogues, Reform synagogues that used to have services on Sunday instead of Saturday.
I'm surprised by all that because after October 7th, that Reform Rabbi Ami Hirsch, he went viral on Twitter when he.
By the way, I'm Sephardic, so I'm allowed to have this on Pesach.
Is that it's regular? It's Coca-Cola. What is that?
It's Coca-Cola, yeah.
So Ashkenazim also drink Coke on.
But you have to buy special cans. Yes, as long as we buy our soda before whatchamacallit, we're good. Before Pesach, we're good.
Got it. Yeah, so Ami Hirsch, he gave like a whole speech it went viral on Twitter of like that the Reform movement is lost if we've abandoned Israel, basically. That's what he basically said. So I'm surprised to hear that originally you're saying it wasn't even pro-Israel. That's surprising.
Reform, I mean, I so many times I have made people read the 1868. It's called the Pittsburgh Platform. I think it was written in 1868. And it was the original platform for Reform Judaism. And when you read it, like people have actually been like, well, this is a paraphrase. They didn't use the term the God idea, did they? It's like, no. It talks about the God idea, right? Like it's pretty short. I highly recommend reading the Pittsburgh Platform because I use it constantly to make reform ashamed of itself.
The Pittsburgh Platform.
I mean, do you want to? If you want, we can read it. Here,
I'm more curious. What is this? Is this document like? Is a pivotal 1885 document in the history of the American Roman Jews? Is that called
1885? Yeah.
While it was never formally adopted by the Union of American Hebrew Congregations, the platform exerted great influence over the movement in the next 50 years and still influences some Reformed Jews who hold classical views to this day.
Yeah. Here, I'll pull it up. This is from Wikipedia, right? And this is the actual text. Believe it or not, they actually said this. The most important principles of Judaism as practiced by the largest Jewish denomination in the United States were laid out in 8 concise paragraphs. So the 8 paragraphs, okay? 1, we recognize in every religion an attempt to grasp the infinite, and in every mode, source, or book of revelation held sacred in any religious system, the consciousness of the indwelling of God in man. We hold that Judaism presents the highest conception of the God idea as taught in our holy scriptures and developed and spiritualized by the Jewish teachers in accordance with the moral and philosophical progress of their respective ages. We maintain that Judaism preserved and defended amidst the continual struggles and trials and under enforced isolation this God idea as the central religious truth for the human race.
Such a wild phrase, God idea. Now that I see it like written, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
phrase.
God idea.
I've never heard anyone phrase it like that before.
This is 1885. 1885. And the favorite one parts, we don't have to read all of it, but okay. I think this is the number 5 is the here. Well, okay. Let's read because honestly, it's too good. We recognize in the Bible the record of the consecration of the Jewish people to its mission as the priest of the one God, and value it as the most potent instrument of religious and moral instruction. We hold that the modern discoveries of scientific researches in the domain of nature and history are not antagonistic to the doctrines of Judaism, the Bible reflecting the primitive ideas of its own age, and at times clothing its conception of divine providence and justice, dealing with men in miraculous narratives. We recognize in the Mosaic legislation.
Do you have an issue with number 2?
Of course I do. It's saying that the Rahman al-Islam, that the Torah was primitive and that it talked about miracles, but these were because they were primitive. They didn't know any better. There's no
okay.
Yeah, there's no idea of the actual miracles. Of course, that didn't actually happen, right? The history, like what science tells us, this is 19th century German ideas to the max.
Because I heard it as that the Bible just spoke about where science was at its time, but it's not necessarily a contradiction to modern day science. Basically, that's
contradiction. But the miraculous narratives, right? They're saying like these things didn't actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
But number 2 is the least objectionable. We recognize in the Mosaic legislation a system of training the Jewish people for its mission during its national life in Palestine, and today we accept as binding only its moral laws and maintain only such ceremonies as elevate and sanctify our lives, but reject all such as are not adaptable to the views and habits of modern civilization.
Wow.
Yeah. We hold that all such Mosaic and rabbinic laws as regulate diet, priestly purity, and dress originated in ages and under the influences of ideas entirely foreign to our present mental and spiritual state. They fail to impress the modern Jew with a spirit of priestly holiness. Their observance in our days is apt rather to obstruct than to further modern spiritual elevation. We recognize in the modern era of a universal culture of heart and intellect the approaching of the realization of Israel's great messianic hope for the establishment of the kingdom of truth, justice, and peace among all men. We consider ourselves no longer a nation, but a religious community, and therefore expect neither a return to Palestine, nor a sacrificial worship under the sons of Aaron, nor the restoration of any of the laws concerning the Jewish state.
Wow, these are like really big sentences. Wow.
Yeah.
They're so sweeping and such large umbrellas that they're casting. It's like
this is why reform distances itself. It's like it was never formally adopted. You didn't even start until 4 years after. How do you formally adopt something that predates your actual establishment? Like,
what do you mean? What's the 4 years here? What are you talking about?
Here, it says the Pittsburgh Platform is a pivotal 1885 document in the history of America and a reform movement in Judaism that called for Jews to adopt a modern approach to the practice of their faith. While it was never formally adopted by the Union of American Hebrew Congregations or the Central Conference of American Rabbis, founded 4 years after its release, it was never formally adopted by the CCAR, which was founded 4 years after its release.
So who says maybe this is not a significant document? Maybe this is who wrote this. Maybe this is not significant. I have no idea.
This was their platform. This was for a long time what defined Reform Judaism, and nobody even imagined they would need to formally adopt it.
Interesting.
We are making fun of old foolish people. This is true. Yes. Happy Passover. What are people saying? Okay. How did Sephardic reach Iran? Very simply, the Jews who lived anywhere near the Ottoman Empire would send their questions to rabbis in places like Baghdad and Cairo, which were in the Ottoman Empire. And what happened after the expulsion of the Jews from Spain in the Jews were expelled several times from Spain, but what happened was there was a large influence of Jews moving into the Ottoman Empire, and so Sephardic thing. You wear a hat instead of a yarmulke, Jacob. Reform. No, sorry. What were we talking about? You're saying it can be a result of culture. I thought you belonged by blood. Sephardic and Ashkenazi, it's people adopt it. That's a whole other discussion. Is because of family, or did you grow up Sephardic? I am considered Mizrahi because my family was Mizrahi. As you probably know from my Discord musings, I've been on my Kafka arc recently after beginning to read the Metamorphosis, and I have gained a greater appreciation for secular Jewish culture. God have mercy on your soul and the rest of us as well. Yeah. Okay, we're caught up with the comments. I mean, do you want to finish reading or?
No, I think this is interesting to see. I have to do some more research on it. But definitely interesting, especially like the piece about
we don't expect to go back to Palestine.
That, and also we accept as binding only its moral laws. Like to slice the Bible like that is a wild thing to say.
No. They're just Protestants. So Reform, despite the fact that they very much deny it, very much did name itself after the Protestant Reformation. Like they were aware that the Orthodox were saying you guys are trying to do a Protestant Reformation on us, and some of them admitted it and other ones denied it, but ultimately they ended up being called Reform because they thought Reform is a good thing to be because of the Protestant Reformation.
Right. I think also just the language of it that kind of shocks me, because I think there's a way of, let's say, slicing the Torah in a way. You can slice it, but you don't need to say it out loud that you're doing. Like, to me, like the proclamation kind of, that makes it really tough to accept that kind of proclamation in my mind.
Look, I think they made a grave mistake, and mostly they agree. I mean, they've had subsequent platforms, and they've distanced themselves from it, and basically they're like, okay, so that was their ideas during their times, and everyone has foolish ideas during their times.
Is there a new platform? Is there a new?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They've had like 6 platforms since the Pittsburgh platform.
If the Orthodox ever came out with a platform, it would be like, learn all day. That would be the platform. The end.
What more is there to say? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they've had several platforms, which have basically like, I mean, here we can, if you want, we can do this here.
I wonder who wrote this one.
All the bad people who helped form a reform. Rather than resolving the issues of religion.
Miami platform, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah. And Jewish nationalism, it addressed the adoption of the Pittsburgh platform only intensified the debate within American Jews about how halacha, Jewish peoplehood, and Zionism should be viewed. By openly disavowing those concepts, the leading reformers alienated more moderate reformers like Sabato Moraes, I didn't know who that is, who advocated a compromise approach to halacha. Moraes and his supporters joined moderates within the traditional community, such as Solomon Schechter, and they established JTS, and that's part of the split between reform and conservative. Conservative was like, no, you guys went too far.
JTS
right?
is reform?
No, JTS is conservative.
Oh, conservative. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so conservative calls itself conservative because they split off from reform.
Got it.
Right? They were like, no, this is too much.
Got it. Heschel was part of JTS, I think.
Heschel.
I think so.
Maybe. I don't know. Yosef's father went to JTS and left conservative for orthodoxy because they started ordaining women.
Interesting.
Non-Zionist ideas of the Pittsburgh platform remained and remain controversial within the reform movement, particularly for those who supported the movement. Every successive major platform of the UAHC, now the Union for Reform Judaism, backed off further from the ideas contained in the Pittsburgh platform. The Union's 1937 Columbus platform included a more nuanced endorsement of Zionism, noting, in all lands where our people live, they assume and seek to share loyally the full duties and responsibilities. In the rehabilitation of Palestine, we hold the promise of renewed life for many of our brethren. Yep. And then they had guiding principles, and then
that's the guy, Stephen S. Wise. The Ami Hirsch is the rabbi of that shul, I think.
You're right. So Wise apparently was a big Zionist. God have mercy on his soul.
Oh my God. People are going to think that I'm like anti-Israel.
You come from Ner Yisrael. Come on. There's a reason why Ner Yisrael is in Baltimore.
That's true.
Because they're not Zionists.
That's true. But I feel like everyone is becoming pro-Zionist now, hopefully.
Hashem Yirachem. No, the definition of the word Zionism has changed. I posted on my Twitter. If by Zionist you mean attaching religious significance to the modern state of Israel, I'm anti-Zionist. If by Zionist you mean putting special emphasis on the modern state of Israel beyond any other country, I'm non-Zionist. And if you by Zionist you mean Jew, I'm a Zionist.
Right.
And the fact is, most people by Zionist they mean Jew.
Right.
Rahman al-Islam.
You have to go back. If you go back, you'll become Zionist.
Go back where?
To Israel.
How will I become Zionist?
Just walking the streets.
The love of the land of Israel is very different from thinking that the modern government of Israel, which has a convicted felon terrorist as the head of internal security, like, I'm sorry, I find the fact Itamar Ben Gvir is allowed in Knesset.
You know who's obsessed with Ben Gvir? It's just interesting side point.
Yeah.
Zizek. Zizek is obsessed with Ben Gvir and how abhorrent it is that he's in the government.
It is absolutely abhorrent.
It's very interesting to me. I don't really know anything about Ben Gvir. I just know that Zizek writes articles all the time about Ben Gvir.
He had an effing picture of Shem Rashayim Yerkov, Baruch Goldstein, in his living room. Like, and he claims to be a religious Jew. He's a walking, talking Chilul Hashem.
Interesting.
Like, how you can have in your effing living room an effing picture of effing Baruch, effing Shem Rashayim Yerkov, Goldstein. Like, come on. Do you even know who that man is?
I assume he's some kind of like war criminal by the way you're speaking about him. I have no idea.
Not even a war criminal, just stom a terrorist. He walked into a mosque with a machine gun and started with an automatic rifle and started shooting people.
Oh, is this like back in like the 70s?
No, this was in the 90s. I was in college when this happened, which is why I know the name Shem Rashayim Yerkov. But to have a picture of this atrocious beast in your living room, and yeah,
killed 29 people. Crazy.
Like, just a straightforward murder. Shem Rashayim Yerkov. Good that you haven't heard of him.
Wow.
How? Baruch Hashem, you haven't heard of him.
So he was a follower of Meir Kahane.
Yeah. No, he just plain old terrorist. Not even a war criminal. Just plain. Yeah, on Purim. He went into Marat HaMachpelah.
Wow. I was born 7 days later.
Maybe you will be mataken some of the, if he was Jewish. I mean, you have to doubt. The Gemara says there are 3 simanim of a Jew, and if a person doesn't have those 3 simanim, you wonder if they're yichus. By shanim, rachmanim, and gam lechasadim.
Really crazy. Really crazy. Wow.
To put a picture of that man in, like, it as a politician, like, he had a picture in his effing
is that like public fact?
Yes. He later apologized for it, kind of. He did it deliberately. It was a deliberate provocation. And he later said, I should have been more whatever.
Wow. Ben Gvir removed the photo in 2020, stating it was for the sake of a political unity and to align with other. Wow.
So he didn't even apologize for it. Like, this is so disgusting.
Wow.
And that man is the Minister of Internal Security. How you expect Arabs to live in a government where he is responsible for their security?
So you're saying I should trust Zizek more because I never understood. I didn't really research Ben Gvir, and I just saw Zizek railing against Ben Gvir in all these articles.
Not just Zizek. Gilad and I both on this channel, like every time Chezi or frankly even Yoav tries to defend Netanyahu, like ultimately he's sitting in a government with this man.
Right.
Like it's a moral abomination that as a religious Jew, like it's impossible. And frankly, the religious governments, like the religious parties in government, they're like, all Zionists are rotzchim. So what's the difference with Ben Gvir?
Right.
And to some extent, I mean, if that's your entire shita, that all the Zionists are rotzchim, okay.
Right.
But to pledge fealty to to this government, Rahman al-Islam. 28 minutes into this broadcast, and we've studied absolutely zero Gemara, but I've gotten to rail against all the things I love railing against. So
perfect. It's perfect.
Perfect.
People usually leave 5 minutes after. Now we got a little bit of what do you call it when you maintain like viewership? There's a term for it.
Yeah. There's only 3 people watching. The number But
the 3 people that are watching to me are worth 30 people.
This is true.
So we're up to the bottom of Testament Bays. We're about to jump to page 10.
Rava Amar.
Rava.
Oh, we're already down to Amar Rava. Wow,
yeah.
Last 2 seconds. Last 2, okay.
Yeah. We just established the idea of Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Russia. Which I never understood. Rav Amar Adam Karev Eitel Atzmo. I didn't realize the reason why a person is not able to establish himself as a sinner is because you're not believed on your own testimony, since you're a relative to yourself. Which I missed out that first sentence of it, so that was cool.
It is.
Amar Rava Ploni Ba'al Ishti. If someone says that someone slept with my wife, he and another witness can join to have the guy put to death. Avolola harga, but they can't join to put. So the husband can't testify to put the woman to death, meaning his wife.
Right, because he's karov to her, but he's not karov to the other guy.
Right. So I mean, that's kind of interesting because you would think he's by extension karov to him.
Yeah, he's nogea b'dvar.
Exactly, in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So says Rashi, Ploni Ba'al Ishti Avolola harga, Lefisha karov hu etzla, because he's close to her as he's the husband. Even though he's believed by the guy that slept with his wife, he's not believed regarding his wife. So we split his word. So basically, we split up his words. It's really crazy, basically, what we're doing.
Right. You would think, Havamina, that either you believe that this thing happened or you believe that it didn't happen. And since he's Karav B'Dvar, you would. But frankly, I mean, I'm pretty sure the halacha is not according to. Although there's an aleph there, so maybe the halacha is according to.
Me, I never knew that.
What?
Oh, because it says the aleph points to like
Ein Mishpat.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, when you look in the Gemara and there's a thing to Ein Mishpat, it means that either the Shulchan Aruch or Rambam or the Torah, one of the 3 quotes this text. But it's not necessarily that it quotes it approvingly. It might quote it disapprovingly, whatever. But there's a quote. So it says, Maimon Perek Yud Bet Mehilchot Edut Halacha Bet. If you want, we can go look that up.
Well, let's first finish this Gemara here. So we say, "My Kamash Milan." Meaning we already said ain't nothing Asma Russia. So what are we learning from this? So the Pagina B'Dibura. So Rashi already jumped the gun here. Is that we're learning that you're able to split the words. But then the Gemara said Hainuhach. That's what we already learned earlier. Well, what was the case earlier? What was the case earlier? Oh, it was about if someone. What was that case?
Doesn't Rashi doesn't say?
No, but it was right in the previous page. Ploni Rava la'unso huva acham ristarkov lahargo l'ritzono. If a certain person, so the guy got raped, huva acham ristar from lahargo.
Ah, right. So we already had. He's the accuser of somebody trying to force him. So we allow a witness. Yeah. And that's even a better.
Why is that Palgina Dibura? Why is that the same thing as splitting the words?
Okay, so he comes and he says that this man tried to do something to me, right?
Yeah.
If we believe regarding the person who the assaulter, right? But we don't believe him regarding himself that this was something that happened to him, right? Then, like, we're splitting. We're already splitting because he's Karov to himself more than he is to his wife.
Oh, okay, got it.
Right?
Got it. Oh, so it's specifically the case. It's specifically the case where he wasn't raped, like against his will. It's where he says this guy had sex with me.
Either way.
No, because the case of rape it doesn't apply because you're not going to be guilty.
You're not going to be guilty, but we're still saying this person, like we're saying even though he was involved in the Maisa,
right?
Whether or not it's a matter of putting him to death, whether there's an onesh. The question is he's involved in the Maisa, so maybe I should say that the victim of a crime should never be able to be a witness, right?
Yeah.
And frankly, I mean, the more I know about human memory and stuff, the more in U.S. law, I kind of wish we stopped allowing witness testimonies because it's just so bad.
Right. Yeah. So the Gemara answers, Ma'u de tema adam karv etel atzma amrinan, etel ishto lo amrinan, kamash malan. Okay. Got it. So it's basically it's expanding what it means to be karv latzmo. It's expanding.
I would have thought that he's karov to himself, but he's not karov to his wife, but
Right.
It's telling us, okay.
Says Rashi, etel ishto lo amrinan, adam karv le'inyan pagin dibura, v'hoel umamin ahu dibura, Limikaple lechavre, likatla nami lidida kamash malan. The fact that you're also able to,
you might have thought that maybe it's different in a case of his wife, but no, Rava's teaching us this different.
Okay, now we're going to do another ruling of Rava. Go for it. Amar Rava.
V'amar Rava ploni ba al nara hameurasa v'huzmu neragen ve'ein mashalmin mama. Right? Somebody comes and says that this engaged woman was had relations with someone, and they were found to be lying witnesses, conspiring witnesses. they are put to death, but they don't have to pay the money that would have been involved. Ve'ein mashalman mamon tovat hana'at ketuvata sharatzu lahafsida my taima shahare lo hiskiru sham ha'isha v'lama'an mafsidi. If they didn't actually, I guess if they weren't trying to keep her from getting her ketubah.
It sounds like from Rashi, Ve'emasham and Mama, that there's something here regarding not knowing her name. Lo hiskiru shem ha'isha.
Yeah, they didn't say who she was, so she supposedly, I mean, even if the case had gone through, there wouldn't be a she wouldn't have lost out on her whatchamacallit. All they're saying is that we know that this man, they're saying regarding this one guy that he did something worthy of death, but there wasn't an allegation against a woman that she shouldn't receive her ketubah.
Right.
I mean, the Gemara is basically talking about cases where if we know that, if we accept that it is such a situation, right?
Yeah.
You would logically extend it, right? You're like, this man is being put to death for adultery, right? So obviously there's something involved with the whatchamacallit, with the ketubah or the woman who got involved, right? And it's like, no, we only care about the case that's in front of us, and what we know of that case. We're willing to basically cut the word in half.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Another case, Bito Shel Ploni.
Vahuzmu.
Vahuzmu. Oh, Bito Ploni is trying to say that they identified the person. They know who it is.
Yeah.
Neragin Umeshavim Kesef. Man Lezeh Ulanafashis Lezeh.
Yeah.
Okay, another case. Amar Rava Ploni Rava Hashor.
Vahuzmu.
Neragin Ve'im Shalom Mammon.
Shoro Shel Ploni.
And then it says, no, the next case is Shor Shel Ploni.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Similar cases. I mean.
Right. So then the word says, why do I need double cases? Why do you need to show both? I know Hach, it's the same thing. Meaning the case of the bestiality is the same case as the Narmara, so it's the same situation. Misham Tikabai Baya Ilai. Debai Rava Ploni Rava Shori Mahu. So, can a person testify if he owns the ox? I think that's what it's saying. Huva Akar Mistarf Imo Mahu Ploni Vadai Mikato Elashor Mi Mikto. Miamrinam Adam Karb Eitzel Atzmo, but ain't Adam Karb Eitzel Mamono. Odilma Amrinan Adam Karb Eitzel Mamono. Interesting.
So Rava would ask us, do we believe someone who says that this person assaulted my ox, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a suffix, similar type of suffix. Yeah.
Right. And its answer is Basar Debaya Hadar Pashta. After he asked it, Rava answered it. Adam Kar Beitzel Atzmo. A person is close to himself. Ein Adam Kar Beitzel Mamono. Interesting. So you see that? We're not materialistic after all. We're just spiritual beings.
Apparently. Here, let's pull up Mishnah Torah Hilchos Eidos 12b.
I would not think that that's the case. It's really interesting.
Safaria. Share this tab. Show this tab. This Passover. Halacha. Mishnah Torah. Hilchas Eidos is towards the end, right? Nezikin. Shoftim. Hilchas Eidos, right? 12b. 12.2. 12.2. Ein Adam nifsal ba'avera al pi atzmo. Ketzad harei sheba lebeit din va'amar shaganav o gazal o hilva beribit af al pi shemishalem al pi atzmo eino nifsal v'chen im amar she'achal nevela o bal asura eino nifsal ad sheyihu sham shnei edim she'ein Adam mesim et atzmo rasha. Leficha, Reuven sheheid alav Shimon, shehilva beribit, veheid Levi, ve'amar li hilva beribit. Hare Reuven nifsal be'edut Shimon veLevi af al pi shehare hoda Levi shelava beribit, ve'eino mesim atzmo rasha ve'neman al Reuven ve'eino neman al atzmo. וכן מי שהעיד שפלוני רבעו בין באונסו של נרבה בין ברצונו הוא ואחר מצטרפים להורגו. פלוני בא על אשתי הוא ואחר מצטרפים להרגו אבל לא להרגה. וכן כל כיוצא בזה. פלוני רבע את שורי הוא ואחר mitztarfin lahorgo she'ein adam karov etzel mamono. So, according to Maimonides, at least, this is the halacha. Precisely as we said, quoting Rava. Interesting.
Okay, then we have a new Gemara, new sugya.
2 dots. Can you believe it? Well, not yet.
The next Ben Yad, yeah, no, we got the 2 dots. The next Ben Yad is on 10b.
10b.
He skips.
We can get there in 15 minutes.
2 pages.
Okay. Makot b'shlosha. So now we're going back to the Mishnah, and it talks about if you're allowed to give lashes with 3, because it's possible that the person could die.
Right. I think it's important to point out we've done, 18 pages now?
Yeah.
We've covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. We've covered 35 words of the Mishnah in the last 18 pages. It's kind of a crazy. So we're basically averaging a page per every 2 words.
That's wow. I thought it would be the other way around. It would be 2 pages per word. They're slacking. I have the answer. This is the Talmud Bavli, Talmud Yerushalmi. So it's actually the Talmud has more words.
No, Talmud Yerushalmi is more succinct. It's much more.
It's more succinct, but it's additional words on the same Mishnah. So to learn the Talmud on that Mishnah, you need to learn all these pages in the Bavli and all the pages in the Yerushalmi. And I don't know how long the Yerushalmi is on these 35 words of yours. True,
but Yerushalmi in general is like I think a 2 or 3 year cycle if you do a page a day.
Yeah, it's much shorter.
We'll get to it after we finish the Sanhedrin.
It's much shorter also because it has fewer tractates.
Really?
Yeah, there.
There
It
was more
doesn't have
tractates.
what?
I thought there was more tractates in
No,
Yerushalmi.
it has certain tractates that aren't in the Bavli, but I think
It has all of Sanhedrin. It has all Zeraim, I mean.
yeah, it has Zerayim, but it doesn't necessarily. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have have Gemaras on all the same things that the Bavli does.
See, no, it has. No, it does. It
It
looks like it has
does?
most of them. Yeah. It definitely has all of Zeraim, all
Yeah.
of Moed. It looks like, at least. I think it looks like all of Moed. It's got, I think it has all of Nashim. See, it looks like it has all of Nezikin, except for like Avos, which there's no Bavli on it either. And it has Nida. Doesn't have the whole Taros. So I feel like there are 63 Masechtas. No, that's in Mishnah, though.
Does it? Yeah, that's Mishnah. Does it have Chulin? Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I don't think it has Chulin.
Nezikin.
No, Chulin is in Taros.
Oh, you're right. That's what it's missing.
And Chulin, it's the one Temple Graydon studied. So like, it's an important one.
Wait, let's see. Oh, yeah. That was a good callback. Oh, it's missing all of Kutchim. Got it. It's missing all of Kutchim. I wonder why that is. Wouldn't that be? It's so odd. You would think Yerushalmi would be more into Kutchim.
If lice.
Why doesn't Yerushalmi?
Hakadosh Baruch Hu may have not wanted us to have. We may not be zocha to learn the Talmud Yerushalmi on Kutchim until Mashiach comes.
Interesting. Here's what Jerusalem Talmud does not cover the order of Kutchim, primarily because the portion of the work was either never completed or more likely lost over centuries of persecution and fragmented study.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, the Yerushalmi is a lot less standardized and stuff as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because it was studied so much less.
Let's see. Marcus B'Shoshim, Amar Rafuna, Amar Kra. How do we know you need three judges to adjudicate a case of lashes? Amar Kra, Ushavtam Shnayim. It says Ushvatam. And the judges will judge them. Shnayim. So that's talking about two. So in the psukim that talk about Malchus, it
says they shall judge, and the least of they is two, right. But we have to have at least three so that it's not a thing. So that's the least.
Right. But it also says that in order to exonerate the person, you need to have two. Verashiu Shnayim.
Yeah.
Harikan Shiva.
Because it says Shaftum and Hatstiku Vehershiu, so you have three. So you end up with six, and then I think. What does Rashi say?
Doesn't say anything. He ghosted you.
There's no Rashi.
There's one. V'shaftam Gabi Malchus Ksiv. That's it. That's all I see.
There must be an explanation. Let's see what Rabbi Art Scroll says. Elamata Shalom de Mekan Harevat of the Pasuk Stiku Mekan Ad Shnayim Ad Shaftum Harekan Labachot Shisha Dayanim. Yeah, that's what I said in Svara, but where does this come from? It comes from the Yad Rama. Baruch Shekivanti. The Yad Rama is the Rama, right?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's somebody else?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Pretty sure it's an Achron.
Rabbi Meir ben Tadros Halevi Ablufaya. He's a Rishon.
He's a Rishon. Abulafia?
Yeah, he was born in 1170 and he died in 1244.
Okay. I learned something new today. Shocking. I never learned anything new.
So that was when you learned with me. You learned about the Pittsburgh platform, you learned about the Yad Ramah, all these new things.
All these new things. Okay. Kan Shiva.
So we say, Ula. We needed those other additional words for Ula. Amar Ula remez le'edim zomim in the Torah menayin. How do you know of that you have edim zomim in the Torah? Where do you get that from? That they get punished. Remez le'edim zomim. Oh, so the Gemara asks, remez le'edim zomim v'aksiv.
Yeah. How is that a question? It says it's the Farish in the Torah. What do you need the remez for?
It's funny because I was thinking before I got to that part of the Gemara, I was thinking, wait, does it not talk about zomim in the Torah? I was so confused. Okay. Ella remez le'zomim shalokim enayin. How do you know that
Shalokim, that they get lashes?
But I thought they don't. I thought they
get a kasher zamam.
Oh, if kasher zamam doesn't happen for some reason, so that's
right.
Why
There's a lot of
where like the ein hazama yichol l'eskayim. Go meidin anu beish plonishu ben grusha nimsu zamim v'hari heim kohanim. Einom Yasa said ben grusha tachtot el sofikas arma manolan.
Right. So in cases where, and this is the beginning of Makkos, I believe, in cases where somebody is a conspiring witness, but it's impossible to do kasher zamam, this is how we know that they
got it.
That they get and actually, like, this is I'm pretty sure this is the first few pages of Makkos.
So it's chazara for you.
I learned some Makkos.
Tichsiv v'tzdiku es atzadik v'reshu es harasha.
Yeah.
Mishum v'tzdiku es atzadik v'reshu es harasha. V'haya im bin hakos harasha.
Mishum, the Beis Din hitzdiku et hatzadik v'reshu et harasha v'haya im ben hakot et harasha tzidkat tzaddik lama huzkara kan v'chi mishum tzidkat tzaddik mitchayev rasha malkot ela vadai edim zomimim ramize hechad edim. Oh, right. I'm pretty sure this is what the Gemara there says, right? So why does it say hitzdiku et hatzadik v'reshu et harasha, right? Why the double lashon, right? And it says because if I only had one or the other, I wouldn't have known the edim zom. The second one, whichever, if you learn it from Hirshu et Harasha or Hitzdiku et Tzadik, the other one needs to be darshaned in order to lash the conspiring witnesses.
Right.
Ela Edem Hirshu et Tzadik Atu Ade Achrone V'tzdiku et Hatzadik the Meikra V'shavinehu Lahanach Rishayim V'haya im ben Hakot Harasha V'titpuklei. I don't know how far this
goes to the two dots.
That it's explaining this whole thing with Lahanach Rishayim.
So that's like. But then you're going to keep typically in Losana, but you should get it from the pasuk of Losana.
Yeah. Right.
Whatever Ula needs to say his explanation.
So there has to be an extra drasha, otherwise you wouldn't know. Yeah. Mishum Rabbi Yishmael Amru Be'esrim.
This is a new piece.
Yeah.
We can stop here and we'll continue. We continue to the next. Let's see. The next one is. Oh, then we can get into Birkas HaChodesh. It looks like. We're almost on the Perek Chelek. We're getting there.
Right. Well, now Sandy's here, so there's 5 people watching. I don't know why.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Okay.
Thank you.
Later, people.
Bye.